I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it certainly appeared the defense was prepared. But I'm with you. Okay, so it didn't work this time. Doesn't mean we won't try it again later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. He finds his man, complete. That's Shepard. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Gun, Watson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Shepard. And he is going to have a Browns first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
And the Browns first down.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Watson looks to throw again. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field, all right? This is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting. Time to find out. So 1st and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Second and goal from the 1. Here's Watson on the sneak, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Deshaun Watson keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Browns will strike first here in this wild card matchup. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Browns 7, Chargers 0.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
To throw on 2nd and 10. Herbert. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Always costly. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Now Herbert following the turnover. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. And we'll see if that pick six looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome? But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. The Charger drive about to get going. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that, because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. He looks for Ayuk again. This time he's got him. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
7 yards, the pickup there. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And inches.
Watson just beating the play clock. Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz. The 30, 10, 5, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
Adderley, he's going to hold on to this one. A touchback, and the drive will begin at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A good gain on first. Has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. 21-0 our score after one.
21, Chargers nothing.
They'll run on first down. Shepard, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 38, Watson. He finds his man, complete. It's Shepard. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That'll give them 8 that time, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Watson now to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Completes it to Austin. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Second and inches at the 3-yard line.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Watson. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Browns continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half.
28. Chargers, nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Adderley, he's going to hold on to this one. A touchback, and the drive will begin at the 25.
The Charger drive about to get going. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Grant Delpit.
And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Watson.
Open man here, Schwartz, complete.
And down inside the 15 he goes. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
This is caught. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can.
And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
Deshaun Watson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes this 35-0 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Going up top. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Chargers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. Play action this time for Justin Herbert.
He'll fire this deep for Ayuk.
And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
On 2nd and 9, Watson.
Over the middle, that's caught by Schwartz.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Let him know. Check three.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. To throw is Watson. On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. And he gets it down to the 32. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson throwing the out route incomplete. It's Shepard. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Again, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Watson. Got a man, it's Schwartz, complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. To the air yet again, Watson. Austin's got it left side. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Now Watson going to sneak it, and he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
Deshaun Watson saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Browns have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded right at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. He's going to take another shot here. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
The final shot before the break for Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
On second down, it's Austin. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Hey, we got to seal. We got to seal. We got to seal. I got you. I got you.
On first down, Watson. He'll find Schwartz complete right side. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. And just a yard to go here on second down. They run the counter. Shepard. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Watson off play action. Looking deep downfield. And this throw will be intercepted.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their...
Herbert has it knocked free.
And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here.
He's got it at the 15. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big play there for L.A. Out of the gun, Eckler running it down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Didn't have a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Mike 27, go.
On second down and 4, Herbert. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And Eckler will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack. Going to stop him short of the first down.
It's 4th down.
They'll run for it with Eckler. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And that will force a turnover on downs.
Okay, just like that. Just like that.
On first down, Shepard. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
When you see those RPOs run, you need the first man to attack and be a disruptor. And on that play, he closed down fast and helped knock it away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Watson. Going deep downfield for Ross. He's got a man complete. And all the way to the opposite 48. A big play that time for Cleveland. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 48-yard line.
Now Watson. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Extra point right down the middle. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Browns drive about to get started. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. And maybe a small measure of revenge for this defense, because they have been thoroughly dominated so far, but a brief bright spot there with that pick six.
Seemingly coming up for air after being dominated as you described. They get a nice play there. Probably not going to change the balance of this game, but they have to feel a little bit better about themselves after that one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. Fresh off the pick six, it's Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It got his man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll hand off here to Eckler. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Eckler. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 41. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. One quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Shepard. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started.
They have bucked the trend so far. A sterling performance to this point, on the road no less in the wild card round, and they look to finish things off here in this 4th quarter.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
That's right, baby. They don't win it.
They'll keep it on the ground. Shepard. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
So the deep ball giveth, and now the deep ball taketh away.
And you get deep on me here. I like that. Going to the next level in what you're thinking. And when you think about all the success he's had throwing the football so far, sometimes when you're doing that, you think you're invincible out there. But he was given a cold dose of reality on that throw.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
On 2nd and goal, Herbert to the right side and complete to Hurst. Touchdown, Chargers! Hayden Hurst, a 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Chargers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Point after, right down the middle, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead.
66. Chargers 21.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
At about the 32. Throwing to start the drive. Herbert. And that is taken in by Hurst. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Herbert's throw complete here to Ayuk.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Ashton Davis.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Shepard, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. He finds Austin complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
The key to any screenplay is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going.
Saying their fans here are stunned would be an understatement. Things in this wild card round have not gone according to plan.
He's going to let it fly. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter here, trying to preserve the lead.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw into the hands of his receiver, Guyton.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
On first down, it's Herbert. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. To throw again on second down, Herbert. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Grant Delpit.
There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Adderley, he's going to hold on to this one. A touchback, and the drive will begin at the 25.
The Charger drive about to get going. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory.
Now the ball comes loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And they'll indeed take a knee. And they take a knee. Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them one step closer.